I'm sitting in line here to cross over the border to the U.S. Got my big whopping stimulus check that I need to cash. But that's besides the point. As I'm sitting here and I'm noticing everything around me and just kind of paying attention to my thoughts, which you're supposed to capture every thought, keeping attentive to God. I notice all the craziness of this world that's summed up right here in Tijuana at the border crossing. I mean, it's really amazing to me. You have people selling things as you're waiting in line. You have people asking for money because they got arms and legs amputated and trying to feed their babies or whatever the story is with them. And at the same time, you got signs all over of plastic surgeons and other things where people have serious money. I mean, some of the buildings around here, you look at them, the casinos and the hotels and the condominiums and restaurants and everything, it's amazing the amount of money that's in them. And even the cars as you drive, you got old piece of crap cars, and then the next one is a really nice Mercedes or BMW or something like that. And it's just crazy, everything. As I'm sitting there, about 10 cop cars came flying by with the sirens blaring, and I don't know exactly where they went to, but something's going on around the border here. And keep in mind, Tijuana recently was voted, or noted, I guess, not voted so much, as the most dangerous place in the world to live. A lot of murders, about 7 a day these days. So it's not uncommon to hear sirens and stuff. It's not the first time that I've been down here and heard them, and actually even seen where they are all gathered together in a spot and have it kind of roped off, and you can't even see what's going on, but it's not good. So here we are, kind of the gateway between Mexico and the U.S., the busiest port of all, and the differences of how the worlds collide, and even the difference between what you find on the other side of the wall. I made the comment before that the cost of living in California is atrocious compared to what you can get here. Like my house, it's maybe worth $300,000 in Tijuana, but on the other side of the border, being that close to the ocean, it's probably $3 million or more. Not to mention your property tax is probably 60 grand a year or 30 or something like that, and I'm paying less than 100. The night and day difference between those that have and those that don't is huge. And they're still a middle class, but my belief system, knowing what the end of time says and watching what they're doing with with this virus and other things that they brought our way in the last couple of decades, they slowly but surely keep taking away our rights, and they take away the opportunity to make a good living for most people. Thank God, because I've listened and followed what he's showing me to do. Money's not a problem for us, and maybe it becomes a problem. I've asked God about that too, because there's no guarantees. If they want it, they'll come and take it. It could be a thief, it could be the government, it could be a lot of different people, but they'll take it. And so that's another aspect that God was showing me. Just a simple example. I don't want to elaborate on all of it to keep this short for a change. But Jesus made the comment or the point to me, why do you think I always have long hair and a beard? And the simple answer he gave me was because of necessity. They didn't have barbers, and they didn't have people. I mean, they did. Obviously, people got haircuts and stuff. But it wasn't because he wanted to have a long beard and long hair, or that was the end thing. It was the end thing because that's the way it had to be. They can't afford to go and just get their hair cut anytime they want and trim their beard, and they don't sell razors and things like that. So the point is that if you have to really live simple and without a lot of expense, it can be done. Jesus did it. 33 years, he never really accumulated nothing. And it's not that we should live that way, that he's a pattern and we all should sell everything we have and give it to the poor and just live in the desert, sleeping on the ground, and have a beard mustache so we don't buy razor blades, which we can get these days. But the point is, what I'm talking about, there's an extreme difference between those that have and those that do not have, and trying to just keep a life. That's the main thing. You know, what God's showing me with all this stuff and blessed me with wisdom, and He'll bless anybody with the wisdom. It gives you the opportunity to rise up above. And part of the rising above is financially speaking, because you do things at a whole different level than most people. And people appreciate it and they want to do business with you. But it also is just from the standpoint you rise above, that if the world leaders do take everything and you don't even have money for a razor or to cut your hair, and you have long hair and a beard like Jesus, what's the big deal? Your focus should be on what's in the heavens for you and not what's on this earth for you. As always, seek first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and then everything else will be given to you. Peace.